How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is doing well today. In this video, I am talking about a well put together man and why or why not we should be put together by the time we decide to get married. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it, right? So I'll talk a little bit about the subject and why I wanted to talk about this subject and my thoughts about it. So in society, as men, we're oftentimes told and deemed that in order to be a man and to marry a woman today, you need to have yourself put together. You must meet societal conditions. And what are those societal conditions in order to be married, or at least marry the woman of your dreams, right? One, you must earn 50K a year, at least 50K a year. All right? Every man, especially in his 20s, is not to the point to where they're earning at least 50K a year, right? As a young man, at least when I was 20, 21, I was earning somewhere maybe around 30 to 35, right? And I had just joined the military, fresh out, basic training, so on and so forth. All right? But you're taught that you must earn a certain amount of money in order to attract a certain quality woman in our day and age in this society, right? You're not taught that, you know, a woman can come along and build with you in society. You're taught that your value comes from what you provide and solely only what you provide. A lot of that is through your money that you earn, right? Number two, you must be someone who has a house, you have a car, you're living, and you have a good high paying career, i.e., what I just talked about, earning 50K a year. And while we talk about those things, I'm not saying a man should not focus on his goals, his life, and his purpose. He must have it all figured out. He must have everything aligned to where he can, be with the right woman in that moment. But as men, we're taught and socialized that if you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you're not making 50K a year, you're not walking in your purpose by age 25, that is pretty much all over for you, right? When in reality, a man steps into his primal years in between the ages of 30 and 40, and really becomes a full grown man around the age of 40, right? Why do I say these things, and why is it important? Society puts a lot of pressure on people today to have their lives figured out, to put their lives in order, to have everything figured out. Meanwhile, gaslighting men and telling them that they're not valuable. You don't make it or earn a certain amount of money, so you're not valuable according to the societal norm that's pushed, right? You're not a high value man that women need in order to attract a quality mate to marry, have kids, and settle down, right? I remember watching content creators, and they're talking about that men need to earn a certain amount of money by a certain time in their lives to be able to attract a quality mate and to date and marry today's society. Now, why do I debunk all these myths, right? I'm not comparing yesterday's, decades compared to today and saying that men can't have their lives figured out and that they should just slack off and, a woman should just come with them for the long haul. But what I am saying is this. Even women are being misguided in our society in terms of what they should expect in a man. And I'll get to that point in this subject later on in this video. But when I watch someone like R.C. Blakes Jr., who's a pastor who I like to watch and who teaches great content on the male and female dynamic of relationships, especially geared towards women, he's someone who met his wife as he was walking into his purpose, as he was earning his way. He talked about in his video how his wife was earning more than what he was taking home, but yet he still had a drive and a mindset to take care of her. So he wasn't just sitting at home broke on the couch, but he was out, going about providing and finding ways to make sure he can find a way to stabilize his home and take care of his children, his wife, and kids. Why do I say that today? Because society will tell men that you're not worthy of being loved, you're not worthy of being valued, you're not worthy of being treated with respect unless you meet the status quo or the quota of what a man is. But what is a man? A man is not someone who earns a lot of money, you know, the big, strong, muscular guy, has a house, has a car, and marries a woman and has a family, right? I mean, those things are attached to the man. Those are the outer things of a man, right? But what is a man? A man internally is someone who is responsible. He defines himself for who he is. A man is someone who is confident in who he is, right? A man continues to grow in his spirituality, right? With whatever he believes in. A man is who he is internally, not the external factors. And a lot of times as men, because we're told these things and we're taught and conditioned to think that you have to earn at least $50K a year or have a certain job, have a certain house, have a certain car, you're conditioned to think that you need to have those things to attract a quality mate, a quality woman. But let's be honest, let's break things down even to that context. What is a quality woman for a man? A woman who is going to support her man. A woman who is going to support his purpose. What he's doing in the world in terms of making the environment around not just him and her better, but their relationship. Right? A woman of quality is going to be kind, loving, nurturing, and caring towards that man, right? And there's so many more aspects of that woman that's quality that makes her a good mate to marry. I'm not saying women have to be perfect, but those are some of the things that I just named off that make a woman a quality mate for a man to marry, right? So I say all this to say that because we're socialized a certain way, those things, those narratives, go ahead and start debunking those things, right? Yes, we're not living in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but if you're a man who is on your purpose, you have drive, you have a mindset to be successful, to take care of a family, to marry, to have a kid, right? At the end of the day, it all starts with the fact that you have a mind and a vision. A man with a vision shall not perish, right? It is quoted in scripture, right? And I say that because a lot of times as men, we get caught up, just like how women get caught up. We get caught up with the fact that, you hear women out here talking about, oh, I want a man that's making six figures, 100K, 200K. And yet, I rarely see videos with females talking about, oh, my husband or my boyfriend makes 20K a year, 50K a year, 30K a year. Yes, he earns that money, right? But how does he treat you, right? How does he treat you in that relationship? How does he care for you and protect you and provide for you in that relationship? Is what he's providing for you good enough, right? And a lot of times, those things oftentimes put on the market as a market value for men, right? Women say they want a high-earning man, not realizing that a high-earning man is not always going to be home at night, being able to rub your feet, being able to cook for you or cook with you, enjoy dinner with you sometimes. Sometimes that may be the case, sometimes that may not be the case, right? I'm not saying that men who earn around 30 and 50K are still not as valuable, because the fact that they're out earning and out here getting, the money that needs to provide for their families makes them worthy in general, right? But it's the provider aspect of that man that makes him valuable. And I'm learning that, for myself as someone who, aspires to be married in my life and see myself having a wife and a kid. Every woman is not a bad woman out there, right? But let's be honest. There are men who are married and their wives are coming into their lives before or as they're walking into their purpose and before they became the successful men that they are today. Now, I'm not saying that every man has that journey, right? Some men become successful and they meet their wives, right? But truth be told, it becomes even more of a question mark and a little bit more challenging, because you want to sort through the qualities of a woman as you become successful, because you want to make sure that she's there for what it is that you are, not the things that you have, but for what it is you have to offer her as a man, right? Outside of just the protection and the provision financially your home, your car, the material things, the material possessions. The material possessions don't make a man the husband and the quality mate that marries a woman. It's his character, it's his discipline, it's who he is as an individual, as a person, right? And those things overall that I've learned are what attract the quality mate that helps make and build a healthy relationship. In my honest opinion, I think we're leaving a lot of our relationships based on today in our society, based on external things and external factors. And yes, while those things are great and fun to have, relationships with good character are what make your relationships last longer. We're living in a day and age where it's all about, what he's providing, and if he's not providing, X, Y, Z, then he's not valuable. When in reality, as a man, I'm here to tell men today that you are valuable no matter what it is that you provide. As long as you have the mindset to go out and be a go-getter and to provide, as long as you're a man of character, as long as you're a man that cares, and you have a heart to love your woman, that should be good enough in itself. All right? And then I was talking about the emphasis with women. Right? Some women struggle with finding that mate because they're conditioned to think that they have to wait at the finish line, to get that man. While they're out having fun or doing dating whoever, X, Y, Z. I'm here to say that, for women, you don't need a man to make $100,000 a year or $1 million a year and plus to be able to take care of you, right? Those things that when it comes to a man's earnings, women should look at how they're being treated in that relationship, right? Women should look at what factors help that relationship build into something that's positive and constructive when it comes to having a family value system, when it comes to raising children. Why do I say that in this video, and why did I make this video today? Is because I'm someone myself who thought, you have to have it all figured out. You have to go out, you have to have everything, it's put together. You have to have your entrepreneurship, your business running effectively. You have to have the car, you have to have the house, the dog, so on and so forth, right? And as someone who is aspiring to marry for a sense of purpose, I aspire to marry, to be a quality mate, to marry a woman that I can have and raise a healthy family with, right? At the end of the day, those social norms as men, we must break. We must understand that our value is not just in what we provide, but in who we are. And we must learn to love ourselves and accept that there are going to be women that are not going to see our value based on what we provide, right? Some things are not going to be enough for some. But at the end of the day, there are women out there that will accept you and will embrace you and love you for what you provide. Sometimes you may have to travel overseas, abroad, and there are women, sometimes you might have to go to another state, another city, right? But there are quality women out there that are willing to date and marry us and have kids with us and provide and make a happy, healthy family overall. All right? So that's all for today's video. I just want to take the time to thank all you new subscribers and those watching my content today. Please take the time to like, share, and subscribe to my content. And another caveat to I'll add to this video before I leave and exit out. Whatever you do, question the content creators, even myself, on why or what it is that you're listening to, so that you're not just taking in information and following and doing what it is that they're trying to put out. Alright, thank you for watching my video. Have a great day. Take care.